Well, welcome back. Yeah, we both are here, and all as of last week when things went south real quick.
Look, guys, you try different stuff, you know what I mean? Just to break up the monotony. And I am off, I was off. I was like, I'm gonna go outside. We just did a show on relaxing. I'm gonna go outside and do this like kind of guerrilla podcasting like I do with my TikTok videos sometimes. And it's hot outside today, even though it's freaking October, or what that day, even though it's October. It's the
Yeah, and it's
sun
it's
was
8 o'clock in the morning too.
Yeah, sun is pouring, and I'm like, I don't care. Drink my coffee. But I didn't bring my tripod. I didn't bring my equipment. I just was like old school. Well, apparently, that was a mistake. And the sun told my phone that it couldn't work anymore. And so it literally said, Your phone is too hot. Your phone's too hot. We're shutting down. I couldn't get back in. I don't know what happened on the show. I haven't even seen it. Whatever.
Good old AI playing into the into the mix.
So sorry, guys. It happens. It happens.
No, so it just left me out there, and I just kind of said, I don't know where Brandon went. All of a sudden, not only did you freeze up, but then a few minutes later or so, all of a sudden, boom! I'm just left there solo on the screen. So, but I did thank you very, very much for dropping by on your balcony.
Occasionally I do that. I'm back. I'm back today to wrap up this show and see what happens. I'm inside now, so it's okay.
So I was going to talk to you about gaming a little bit because and it's a habit that I have. I've got all kinds of games on my phone.
Ah,
I've got everything from backgammon and solitaire games to some numbers things, Sudoku. I play. I've got some puzzle type games, and I sit on the couch even when we're watching TV and I'm gaming. Uh,
yeah.
but on the little small screen of my phone,
Mm.
do you get into gaming at all? You and Luke?
I don't have any games on my phone. I never actually, that's one of the things that I've never done is put games on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into it. I have enough stuff to distract me. I don't do it. Luke obviously has stuff on his iPad, and then obviously we play games. We do Fortnite. That's a big one. Um, with him, Fortnite is unique because it's a super fun game. We've talked about it a little bit, but it's almost like a collecting. They like to collect the skins that you can get on Fortnite. So it's almost like there's new skins dropping, and it's a great business thing for them, but it's also fun. So Luke and I do that quite a bit. We just did, they just had a Fortnite live event. They just did a Daft Punk event
Oh, really?
where, yeah, it was great. And so we did that last week, a couple weeks ago. And he's obviously, I grew up with Daft Punk. He's not, he knows one or two, but didn't understand it. But it's an experience. Like you're in the game and like here you like it felt like you were at a Daft Punk concert and stuff like that. And they've done an Eminem concert, they've done Snoop Dogg, things like that. So we do that. It's super fun. As a matter of fact, he's got a bunch of gift cards I got to figure out how to use. Um, so we play that. We also play Wobbly Life. That's a fun game, and we play Minecraft and some other games, but he's also gets into some different games too, like some basketball games and soccer. And we just did his birthday at Arcade 92 in McKinney. That was super fun. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't game. In the multiverse, if Luke wasn't around, I don't know how much I would even turn my PlayStation on.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I was just going to say, they have, Nintendo and PlayStation and all of those systems, which a decade ago, I mean, it was like that was it. You just collected all of these games for doing on Nintendo, but a lot of this stuff is streaming now, um, and so you don't necessarily need the physical station, PlayStation, in order to do it.
Well, you still got to have something. You either are going to do it from your desktop or you still need a system to access Fortnite and
Yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah,
So
yeah.
either you do it from your desktop. What you don't need for a lot of it, and I think it's kind of a pain in the butt, is the actual physical disc for a game. There are games, yes, you can buy the physical disc, but games have made it very difficult these days to have two-player split screen with just you and your buddies on the couch. There's a
Right.
lot of times it's like, oh, you got to log in, create a private lobby, then you guys can play. And I'm like, bro, I just want to turn it on and me and Luke dive into a game. Like Call of Duty's the worst because I love Call of Duty and I bought that for Luke but I don't want to play really intensely with other people. I want us to go against AIs and be on each other's team or
Right.
play against each other. And every time I try to do it, I have issues. It resets. I have to download 14 different like updates, and it really is frustrating because he hasn't been able to use it. So I need to really dive in that. But and I also don't need him to play online with other people. I'm not into that, dude. Like
Well,
I'm just
and, I mean, that's why I've turned to doing it with my phone because to sit there on the couch with controllers, Lauren has never really been into that. And I don't know whether like you said, want to play with two or three or 20 other people and all. So I have these games that I just challenge myself. And I'm using it more as a brain stimulus. I do a lot of
sure.
word type things, word searches and word games where you're building things. Uh, Only just kind of keep the juices flowing,
I
but
get that. I get that. And I could see the benefits of that. For me, like I said, there's too much stuff on my phone already. I don't want to do that.
well,
I
you
don't
have to
need
have
to.
the time to do it too, or like I do sometimes. I miss a good something on a TV show that we're watching because I'm busy doing a game on my phone.
Well, that's the thing. Like, like there's some like
Concentration.
how can you immerse yourself into a movie or a TV show if you're just playing a game, but yet you're trying to get your mind right, but all you're doing is splitting your mind's time between two different things. So, are you really getting your mind right?
Well, that's just it. And both factions are vying for your full attention. The TV series wants you to keep binge watching one after another, and the gaming companies want you just to spend your time. My grandson can be on Minecraft, I mean, half the night. But he's
Yeah, that happens. I limit. I obviously Luke's, got a brand new iPad for his birthday, and so now he can text and FaceTime through his iPad.
okay,
Obviously, we have 100% control of what that is, and we put the numbers in. So it's like me, his mom, his sisters, my parents, things like that. But
right.
now this kid, which I actually kind of like because there's some days I don't see him, so I could send him a quick text, whether he's on his iPad or not. I could be like, "Hey, buddy, I love you. Hope you have a good day at school. I'll see you tomorrow." Um, or if he's just like, "I'm gonna call my dad," he doesn't have to wait to get his mom's phone and all that, and we can monitor that. So he's been really into that lately. And that aspect, I'm like, well, you know what? It's teaching him how to spell. I'm not angry at it, and we still though. I got to monitor it. That first day, man, he was blowing up everybody's phone. Just, you know, but so I get it with the Minecraft. I think if I said, hey, Luke, do what you want, he'd probably sit there for a couple hours.
Right, right. Yeah, and hey, it's a new experience, so he's
Yeah.
going to take it to the highest level he can.
It's this, the next step is the phone, and I'm not ready for that yet. So,
Well, but here, if even if he had the phone, he can't take it to school and use it anyway.
no, but he's still going to take it to school. I'm not playing
But,
this game. Don't
yeah,
get me started on the school, guys.
yeah.
Don't get me.
But
That could be a next episode. I'm already had a situation at the school that I'm ready to like foam off about.
oh,
So,
really? No, well, our grandson, for instance, he's in the marching band. And
sure.
there are days that he needs to get picked up at 4:15 from school, but then they find out they've got to go to practice. So he has to get to his phone, and they've had to go to the office to say he's not going to be making phone calls, but he needs to text, his grandmother or so to say, pick me up at 5:30 instead of 4:15.
Well, just keep it in your backpack then.
Yeah, that's what he does.
I
But
mean, just keep it in your backpack. Don't take it out. And then the minute that school's done, get it, text,
yeah,
boom. Like
that's what most of the kids
that's,
do. Or,
yeah.
and they say, teacher, I got to use the restroom. Grab the backpack and go into the restroom.
And they're not going to deny you or stick it in your pocket or hoodie. They're not going to deny you the restroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they do, I've always said it. I've always said this is going to be a lot of information. I've always said if you tell somebody that you have exploding diarrhea, they are never going to say, no, you don't, because they don't want that gamble. Look, I called into work a lot years. I was like 18 and I was like, I ain't working, but I need a good excuse. I called in and said, guys, I woke up. I got exploding diarrhea. I ain't left the bathroom. Well, first off, why am I going to admit that to people? That's embarrassing, right? It
Right.
must be true. And the guy goes, well, if you want to try and then just we'll let you go to the bathroom. I'm like, you'll let me? Of course you'll let me.
Yeah.
And I said, otherwise you're going to
Otherwise,
clean
you're
up
going
an
to have
eye.
to clean up on aisle 4.
Right. And then he's like, but honestly, if I get it, man, just stay home. We'll see you tomorrow. It's probably food poisoning. I go, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You can only use that once. That's a one-time exploding diarrhea moment, but
Yeah. Well, but the alternate to that is, I used it when I was growing up too, is that I don't do real well with peppers, and I had peppers for lunch, and teacher, I have got
yeah.
terrible gas pains right now, and unless
I gotta go let it rip.
a
Yeah.
new aroma in this classroom, I need to go to the restroom.
But yeah, as far as the texting and yeah, you got to do that. I mean, but that's another reason why I don't like games on my phone because again, there's so many distractions. We have been conditioned to distract ourselves with this horrible device. So if I'm
Well,
watching a movie, I'm watching a movie,
You-
you
You're
know?
you're yeah, you're tuned into the movie and all, and I get the elbow from Lauren, because it's like there's a good scene that's coming up right now, and you're busy with your Sudoku or something like that on your phone. Although I will say, now that I'm retired and I spend a fair amount of time in doctors' offices in the waiting rooms, it's nice to have some of those games on my phone because it
That's
helps pass
yeah,
the time.
that's different. Yeah, no. If I ever have to go to a meeting at work, I'm on my phone. I don't knock on wood. It's been a long time since I've gone to a meeting. So um
Yeah, and you've always said some of the meetings really didn't have to take place. You
no.
know.
That's why I schedule myself on my days off. Or my days off are meeting days.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is too, it's the slowest day for me. So I don't, why would I schedule myself off on the busiest day? That doesn't make sense.
And that's also what most people have hands-free phone calling on their cars too, is because when you get in the car and you have to travel for 20 or
Yeah.
30 minutes between point A and point B, that's when you have your meeting. You might
Have
as
the
well.
phone call. Yeah. Call me or yeah, I don't know. But that's why, so that's probably the only time I really do it. There are some times when I've watched shows or Luke's got a movie on that I'm like, God, this is crap. But I'm trying to spend time with him. So I'm not trying to do this because it's rude. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But there's a couple times where I'm like, dude, I gotta answer a couple emails, buddy. I'm here with you, but you know, and I'll do that, but I don't put games on because I don't want him to live into that. I don't want him, and it's already a struggle. I don't want him to, hey, it's movie time, and his phone comes out when he gets older. I know it's gonna happen, but I gotta hold on as long as possible.
I don't know what the fascination was with these. I mean, and my grandson has got one of the most sophisticated, handheld gaming, whatever you call them, those remotes. I don't understand all the buttons and toggles and switches and everything that he's got, but these kids, I mean, it's like second nature to them.
I don't know.
They can sit there and the fingers are moved, which if anything, the plus side is it's keeping the arthritis away.
Well, that and or it's creating arthritis. I mean, is
Well,
it really?
yeah, later on you will
But
find
it's the dexterity, like for Luke, like especially if he's able to do all these buttons, it helps him on the little things like tying his shoes, you
uh-huh.
know? Because Luke does struggle. He's always been a little on this, like there's been a couple times I've seen him like he's great now, but like trying to throw a ball, I'm like, buddy, how are you who told you to hold the ball like this? What are you doing? But that doesn't come natural all the time. So you gotta like, so that helps, and I've seen him type on the computer,
And you talk about the kids learning how to tie their shoes. Then Skechers comes out with the shoes that all you got to do is step into them. You don't ever
dude.
have to tie them again.
That's all Luke wants are slide shoes and the Velcros, and they're dope. Man, I've seen this kid tie, and he's like, "Dad, I looped it," and I'm like, yeah, you looped it, but it doesn't stay that way, bro. You got like, you need the loop, swoop, and pull, buddy. Like you looped it, and I'm like, or then I see him come out of school and he's tucked his shoelaces into his shoe, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
"What are you doing?" Yeah, so anyway,
Or,
whatever.
or the kids don't even bother tying their shoes anyway.
No, and I always tell him, I go, dude. You need to tie those shoes. I said, you go to the bathroom and pee, your little shoes are going in little pee puddles. So now you got little everybody else's pee on your shoes. Then you touch your shoes. Guess what? You got pee on your hands. And he's like, oh, that's disgusting. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. So
Tie your
I
shoes,
got a
bro.
reason to learn how to tie my shoes.
Yeah.
But like I say, you just now you have to just tie them once because you just step into them and go. And I was at the high school football game last week or so. I cannot believe how many high school kids wear Birkenstocks. I mean, that is like the sandal of the ages. Just put on your Birkenstocks with or without socks,
It's
uh,
gross.
and go.
Or Crocs.
Crocs
I
too.
mean, you're putting on plastic shoes that look like they should be worn in a mental institution.
Well, not only that, but later in life, when you get into your 50s and 60s and you can't figure out why no shoes will fit, it's because you spent your whole youth in Crocs and Birkenstocks.
bro, one day, I don't know what happened overnight. Luke, we were getting ready to go to school, and I was like, "Put the shoes on, bud." He put them on, and they just don't fit. Like he's like, "Dad, they don't fit." I'm like, "Bro, you wore them like a week ago," and then they didn't. So I was like, "All right, get the other ones. No big deal." He got the other ones, and he's like, "They're a little tight." I think he would have been okay, but I'm also not trying to make him uncomfortable, at school because I'd be annoyed.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I don't, bro, I ain't got no more shoes. Like, and he's like, so I called his mom, but she was at work already, so I couldn't go by her house to get shoes. So I'm like, looks like you're wearing Crocs to school, bud. And he goes, I don't care. And I'm,
Well, man, maybe that's the reason why the Birkenstocks, because if the kids grow faster than the shoe, you just unbuckle them and let it out a notch.
I had to order two pairs overnight. I mean, not overnight. I ordered them, and then one of them got there the next day, and yeah, it's bad. He needs another pair for sure.
I mean, that's what our parents used to do. They'd buy your shoes two sizes too big and stuff the toes with tissue, and you'd wear it that way for a while, and then you just little by little start taking the tissue out.
Well, that's what I did. Like, so I got him these awesome basketball shoes. He just wore them to Disney in June. He's worn them to play basketball. He wore them like 3 weeks prior to this event. And then next thing you know, his feet are like this inside of them. And I'm like, it's a
Yeah,
$50 shoe, bro.
yeah,
Anyway.
and going through the spurt.
Yeah.
But well, I just wondered what your thoughts were on the gaming thing for those that are in the North Texas area where we are from. We got the National Gaming Museum right here
So
in
cool.
our town, and it's cool because it's like a time travel thing. Starts when you first walk in is Pong. and it introduces, and these kids look at Pong and think, what the heck is that? I mean, and that was like our whole world back in the early 90s, and all Pong and Atari, and
It's really cool too because it's ever changing. They always add stuff. They kind of do
yeah,
themes like when new games are rolled out. Luke and I went there back when he was 4. We'll probably do again. I just don't want to drive to Frisco these days, but we'll probably do again. But it's a really awesome experience. If you guys have never, if you live in Texas, anywhere within like an hour, it's a great day visit. You can go to the National Video Game Museum, and I got to tell you, it's awesome.
yeah, and it's the whole history of what has evolved from gaming from those first times with the huge equipment with but I remember going back to the Game Boy, and when the
Hmm.
Game Boy came out, it was like a little. And today what it is it's your telephone. It's your telephone with games
Well,
added into your telephone. But
and then they have the Nintendo Switch and all that stuff.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. It,
it's
it was
cool.
pretty cool. But gaming at least takes your mind again off of your everyday stuff. And there are some people that will do games daily. And I
Hmm.
happen to be one of them because there are some of them there's a daily challenge. I do it every day.
Yeah,
I mean, but then I'm an old guy with nothing else to do but do play with games on my phone and do podcasts with Brandon.
I feel that.
And that's it. And that's what you call having a life.
Right.
So go out and make it a good one. Hey, we'll see you right here, same place, same time next week. Go out and make it a good one.
See you guys.